That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 128 of Camp Strange. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, Dave.
Always beware the camp counselor just named Dave.
At what point in my life do I just start going by Dave?
Dave gives us chewing tobacco behind the boat shed.
He says he likes watching
canoe
kids
boat.
throw up or something.
Dave's got a weird fetish. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and blue.
Abu die.
Oh, you have no idea. And before we get into these longer stories we have for you today, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And David, I have a story right here as, this news article starts off with a quote. It says, "I was going to be a mashed potato. Florida boy recounts garbage truck horror."
Oh.
So
that's fun.
A Florida, of course, Florida. Shout out to Florida. A Florida boy attempted to hide in a trash can. I don't know why he was in the trash can. He's probably just trying to spook and scare people. But while he was hiding in the trash can, apparently the garbage truck came and first off, he just got yeeted into a garbage truck, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So he got tossed into a garbage truck, and he was 7 years old. His name was Elias Quezada. And he said, "I was thinking this might be the end for me." God, that is
That's a dark thought for a 7-year-old.
It's the saddest thing I've ever heard. I mean, luckily he's okay.
Yeah, sea
and
captain?
It's like, "I was going down with me old vessel." But he's like, he also said, I almost thought I was gonna be mashed potato. But
I like how it's just singular.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "I thought I was gonna be baked potato," and his mom's like, "No, it's mashed," and he's like, "Oh, okay. Sorry." But then I guess the eagle-eyed driver of the garbage truck, Waldo Fidel, he said he spotted the boy on the truck surveillance camera, which is crazy. I didn't know.
Hey man, Waldos are always looking out for hidden things.
You're right. They don't. Yeah, you're right. I mean, no, but I know what you're.
Where's
I
Waldo?
Get the connection. He's not looking out, but I get the connection.
To not be seen, you must see everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I loved you in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That was very cool. But this garbage truck had a security camera that looked into the garbage truck, which is I guess it paid off this one time. So who am I to make fun of it?
That's why it's installed.
But I guess he spotted him, and this is the craziest part. There were apparently chopper blades inside the garbage truck.
Okay, big blender.
Yeah, and he's like, "I saw him and I turned off the chopper blades," and I just don't get what garbage trucks have security cameras and chopper blades.
Wow,
I was always
high-tech.
under the impression that it was just put the trash in there and smush it into a cube.
Yeah, I thought you just mashed it.
Yeah, that scene in Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I remember that one when he's in the garbage thing and it starts to crush on him like in Star Wars.
Yeah, and he shoves the baby doll's head, Juice Baby's head, right in
not Juice Baby.
right in the gear.
Please,
remember that?
Anything but Juice Baby.
Oh, it's so good. I'll be the first one to shove Juice Baby's head in a bunch of gears. I don't trust Juice Baby. One of Juice Baby's eyes is closed and one of them is open, and that scares me. And that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, the kid said, "I don't like trash cans anymore," but he's safe. They got him out of there. And there's a picture of him that's it's just his little eye and top of his head poking out of the trash can. And somebody took, and he just looks so desperate because he knows he's going to become mashed potato.
Yeah. It reminds me of the movie Old School when they're like, "Hey, didn't we put you in a dumpster that one time?" I got out.
Oh, is that the guy that they're facing off against or whatever?
Yeah, the dean
the
or
nerd.
whatever.
So
Jeremy Piven.
Oh, I love a good Jared Piv.
Yeah, what a creep.
Whatever happened to him?
Yeah,
He's
gone.
He got
Me Too'd, I think.
No.
Pretty sure.
I don't think he was doing anything up until that Me Too thing, though, either.
Yeah.
He just did Ari from Entourage, and then that's it.
That's what happens when you play a character too good. You never get past it.
It's true. Anyway, so mashed potato.
Yeah.
That's my story.
All right. Twitch streamer made $16,000 filming himself sleeping and letting viewers disturb him with alarm clocks and fake dog barks.
Can we do that for this podcast?
Holy shit. I mean, that's the thing. You can only imagine how many copycats there are going to be. Like, if you don't do the first one, I bet it's just like, be like, oh, we already see that. We don't need to do that again.
I have seen some other Twitch streamers try to do that, and they actually make money, which is crazy because everybody has their own fan base, and they want to, like, mess with their guy or their girl or whatever, but, like, $16,000 is a crazy amount of money for doing nothing.
There's
besides not sleeping.
There's a great video of it's like a streamer who I don't think he was very popular at the time, and it was one of those things where like people jumped on Reddit and were like, "Hey, this guy's asleep on his stream," and so like hundreds of people like went to his stream and we're all just like chatting in it while this guy was like passed out at his computer, and then he like wakes up and he like kind of like realizes he's still streaming. And he like looks at it and he realizes that there's like hundreds of people like watching him, and he just gets the funniest smile on his face. It's a great video.
I feel like I've seen that or something. I don't know. It sounds very familiar, but
yeah,
that's nice.
Very wholesome, I think.
Yeah. We only got wholesome stories today.
Oh yeah, my second one's very wholesome.
Okay, well I have another one right here. As Ukrainian man invents murder to get police to clear snow from his road.
Wow. That's like the old Curb Your Enthusiasm when he sprays a swastika on the pothole so they'll fill it.
Oh, to get them to fill in the pothole. He
gets caught on a security camera, and Larry David,
That's
the known
right.
Jewish man, is spray painting a swastika.
He's a self-hating Jew,
Yep.
right? So this Ukrainian man has reported a fictitious murder to police in the hope that they would clear snow from his road when they came to arrest him. So he said he murdered somebody.
Holy shit.
Not only that there's like a body out here, but like I murdered them. So it said the man called police Saturday night to tell them he had killed his mother's partner by stabbing him. He said the victim showed no signs of life, and apparently they said the man also advised police to bring a snowplow because it was not possible to reach his house otherwise. And law enforcement officers were, however, able to reach the property in the small village of Gribova Rudnia in northwestern Ukraine using an all-terrain vehicle, and the alleged victim was safe and sound and no one had attacked him. So he not only said he murdered somebody and that he was the murderer, but the person was a real person and they're like sitting next to him or something.
I was wondering if like it was like a fake person, like his mother didn't have a partner.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like when people go like, oh, like I have a family emergency, and they can't say like an actual family. You can't say like my dad or my mom because it's like kind of bad juju. So you have to be like my stepdad or my stepmom or something like that because like they don't exist sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but so this guy, my favorite part is that he said that he said the road in question actually had already been cleared of snow in the morning, according to local authorities, but the man said he was unhappy with the work and hoped the police would finish the job.
Oh, God.
So the road was already cleared. It just wasn't cleared enough for his liking.
Nothing's ever good enough for this guy, is it?
No, but I think he has to. He faces fines up to, I don't know how much money that is. It just says $350 and then what are they? Rupees? What do they pay? Francs? What do they got over in Russia?
Yeah, I don't know. Potatoes?
Yeah, there we go. Mashed potato. So
they have potato.
But yeah, I guess there's a lot of snowfall, 50 centimeters in the recent days. So is that a lot or a little? I don't live in a snow place. I don't know. Sounds like a lot.
Toby don't know snow.
I'm just a warm boy. I get heat rash.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, so that's my story.
All right, let's keep up with the wholesomeness. Buffy star won't comment on Joss Whedon abuse until after spinal surgery for his paralyzed penis.
First off, his name's Joss Whedon.
Yeah, whatever.
Joss Weldon. You're confusing the people. And wait, what?
Yeah, the guy's got a paralyzed penis.
What happened?
I was hoping you were gonna read this one because I didn't read into it that much.
How can I read it? I actually did see that headline and I went, that seems complicated.
Here's a tweet. Gotta say, I did not see this coming as a reason not to go on the record about Joss. And quotes, my anus is kind of paralyzed, and so is my penis, which is weird.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he got in a accident of some sort?
Yeah, it has to do something. I mean, it says a spinal surgery, so it must be a spinal issue.
There goes Joss humiliating another person once again.
Yep.
Jesus, Joss. I can't comment on any of that.
What is that name, Joss?
It's a bad name.
Is it like
unless
they put
unless
two
it's
S's
your
in
name,
Joshua, and he just goes by Joss? It confuses my mouth.
It's actually
to say.
Jossu. It's like Matthew.
Jossu?
Jossu. Jossu. You just got jossed. Oh, that sounds bad. No.
So what's worse is his real name is Joseph.
Ah. Weird.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Oh, yeah, he ruined Justice League. Fuck him. Snyder cut. Anyway, so, yeah, I hope that guy's penis and anus gets back to however it was before.
Yeah.
I keep us updated, David.
Oh, I will. I'll be on the paralyzed anus penis hunt.
Oh, that's a Dave thing.
Yeah, that's a big Dave thing. Just a normal human.
Anyway, I think we're caught up on any of the news unless you have something to add, David.
Nope, I had nothing.
Okay, well then let's get into these stories we have for you because we have stories. So, now, David, there used to be certain places you would go in your city or your country or in the world in general that would be considered dangerous. But with the current state of the world, it seems anywhere on this planet now is somewhat dangerous. With all this danger on land, we have forgotten the original, the OG, most dangerous place a human could go. David, do you have any guesses?
Well, I know you're going to say the sea, but I was going to say space.
Shit. Yeah, I was talking about the sea, but you're right about space.
I'm so happy right now because for a split second, I literally thought that you were going to start telling the story I wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yours is about space?
Oh, fuck. No, it's not about space, but it's about a dangerous place that people
Ooh.
would go to during a pandemic.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Mine's about the sea. You don't want to go here any day because, it's just...
Mine's a national park, and so you could see how I was starting to sweat a little bit there.
Okay. We're still waiting for that one day that we have the same story.
It'll be a
just
short
that
episode.
So, every other word we have to say it out loud
because
our stories
because we just copy and paste. We just copy and paste from the same article, right?
Well, no.
You're just reading Wikipedia, right?
I'm reading Rush Limbaugh's blog.
Oh, rest in peace.
I had to take out a lot of hate speech. So like I was saying, we're talking about the sea, baby. And I know what you're all saying. Really? The sea? That's what you think is the most dangerous? And that is why I will respectfully be floating across the ocean's blue water while you will be disrespectfully sinking down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. But don't worry, it's not too late because I can help you across a certain part of the treacherous ocean. Yes, it may be a small portion, but from what I hear, it's one of the deadliest. And that isn't just because of the weather, but because of what lurks right below the surface of the cold waters of northern Scotland. And that is why today I will be telling you about the legendary Blue Men of Minch.
Ah, love those Minch boys.
Minch boys. Anyway, so you're probably wondering, what is the Minch? David, what's the Minch?
I think that's No, I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say. I
I
don't know.
just, I just wanted you to guess something that definitely wasn't the Minch.
I was gonna say something that was gonna be very inappropriate.
It's the area between your balls and your butthole.
Sure, let's go with that. That's better.
Okay, there we go. So we all know it's a gooch, okay, but it's the
You
Minch
can have
now.
more than one word for something.
There we go. So the Minch is a strait that separates the northwestern highlands of Scotland and the northern inner Hebrides from the northern outer Hebrides.
Are you trying to say hybrids?
No, it's Hebrides. Hebrides. I'm definitely not saying it right. Scottish accent here. Sean Connery. Hebrides.
Spot on.
The Hebrides. Call me Brids. Hebrides.
Is he still alive?
He just died.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Around the same time as Alex Trebek, which is crazy because they have that SNL sketch together. So they're just playing Jeopardy up in heaven.
I hope
Rest
so.
in peace. So, but if that doesn't make sense to you, what I just explained, it's just the waters between the northwest mainland of Scotland and like the island part of Scotland, a little bit more northwest. So there's like, if you look at Scotland, there's like a little group of islands on like the top northwest part, and then there's a mainland that's right underneath them. And the Minch is that little like area of water where you pass through. It's kind of like a little shortcut to get around like parts of Scotland. And
Okay, I see it.
yeah, and that's where the blue.
Sorry, my entire wall is a map. I'm very smart.
Worldly.
Yes.
I have a ladder and a bookshelf and a globe that opens up and there's whiskey inside.
It's not just a ladder, but it's got wheels.
It's not just a ladder, but you can fall off it too while you're trying to read up there. Those pop-up books always get me. But yeah, this is where the Blue Men live. They live there, not in Vegas residency. No. They don't have a residency in Vegas. They're in Minch. So these waters are very unique in terms of folklore, though, because although it is part of the Atlantic Ocean, unlike, like Loch Ness, the Blue Men do not travel outside of the Minch. Unlike some water cryptids, they usually cover like a coastline of certain countries or areas. Like in Scotland, I think you've talked about them, David, Kelpies, which is a Scottish cryptid that is a water colt. So it's a horse that like you see like Poseidon kind of riding what looks like a Kelpie, you know what I mean? Like Poseidon or I don't know, whatever water gods in other cultures they got.
Yeah.
But, so the Kelpies could also control like the rapids of the oceans or the waves and everything. So, but they cover like all of Scotland, all the waters around Scotland, while the Blue Men are just in the Minch. So the mythical Blue Men may have been part of a tribe of fallen angels, apparently, that split into three groups. The first became the ground-dwelling fairies. The second evolved to become the sea-inhabiting Blue Men, and the remainder, the merry dancers of the northern lights in the sky. So these angels became either fairies, Blue Men, or literally green lights in the sky.
Oh, cool.
I kind of liked it. It was kind of like give me a little bit of a Lord of the Rings vibe, like the men, the dwarves, and the elves, and blah, blah, blah. So I actually like that little piece of folklore. So the Blue Men live in underwater caves in the turbulent tidal water around the Shiant Isles, known as the Current of Destruction.
Fuck yeah, that's sick.
So it's known for its shipwrecking reputation, obviously. Like I said, you don't want to be traveling through the Minch, whether it be on my body or just a body of water. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because you can
get real roughed up in the Minch.
There's a lot of bad things. You go too far to the left, you go too far to the right, and you got to watch out for me and your sake. So
and all those skin tags.
Well, I don't have skin tags. How would you know what my Minch looked like? Get away from me, Minch. That's kind of Irish.
Stop rustling me Minch.
Oh, I rode a horse today. I rode a Kelpie, and I got a nice rash on me Minch. Is it a nice rash on your minch?
It's a kelpie one.
Amen. So when the blue men sleep, apparently floating just below the water's surface, which is another like totally reminds me of Lord of the Rings when they're walking through that like death bog,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like the swampy lands. And
I always have
the
to
death
close my
swamp.
eyes on that part.
Oh man, that and when Bilbo goes,
Yeah, that still scares me.
I get so horny during that scene with his little sharp teeth. Oh,
Little chiclets.
So they're just floating right below the water surface. The water is fine when they're asleep, and the minch is calm. But when they wake, they conjure and play with storms, splashing the waters with mad delight. So, they're not trying to crash your ship. It just happens because splish splash, I was taking a bath, all up in the minch tonight.
Keep going.
That's a weird song. Why did
Why did
that
an adult
charted?
man make that song? You know what I mean?
He's like, rub-a-dub, I was playing in the tub, fucking with my ducky.
It's just like the neighbor you find those photos online of them wearing a diaper.
Oh my god, yeah.
We've all
You're
had
like, why do you have
those.
so much? You're like, you walk into his house, you're like, why do you have so much Mr. Bubble? And he's like, don't fucking worry about it. Do you remember Mr. Bubble?
Yeah, I think I used to get infections from that thing.
Oh, right on the minch, I see.
Mr. Bubble is banned in our household, that's for sure.
They call him Minster Bubble. So
Much less fun to pop.
No, not. What the fuck did you just say?
You said bubbles.
How do the bubbles form over your skin tags?
No, they grow under.
I fucking hate this podcast. I hate this podcast. Anyway. So the blue men wear blue caps. I have no idea what that means. Are they like swimmers?
Oh, yeah,
Or are they
swimmer caps.
baseball players?
It's like low. To protect their kelp hair.
I don't think they have kelp hair, but
Oh, they do now, baby.
they do. I mean, in all the pictures I've seen, it's just kind of they're all bald. They're all
That's
smooth.
the cap.
Yeah, exactly. But like, why would they put on a cap at all if they live in water? Just shave it off, man.
No, man. Yeah. Just because nobody gets to enjoy it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it for yourself.
Wow, remember that, guys.
Yeah.
Self-care is important. Don't just shave your head because everyone's peer pressuring you to do it because you live in the water. Specific for one person out there. You're welcome. So, like I said, the blue men wear caps and are human size with gray faces and long, restless arms. So they're always moving around. Good buys, good tries, good forearms, burning a lot of calories. They
Real
often
sleek
swim-
like.
Oh, they are sleek because you about to get harny when you hear this next description.
Good.
Because
Good,
they
good,
often.
good.
So his
get-
minch. Stop touching your minch. What are you
I'm
doing?
getting comfortable in my chair. I'm not touching my minch.
so they often swim with their torsos raised out of the sea, but they can also dive like porpoises. Oh. They swim. They jump out of the water like a nice pork pie.
I like that. That's a pie I want to bite into.
Ooh, I'll have seconds on that pie. Ooh, look at that crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust on that pie.
Don't worry about that dollop of hair on top.
Yeah, they got like a Hershey kiss of hair on top of their fucking heads.
Yeah, but it's green because of the kelp.
Because of the kelp. I get it. So they have been described as also having wings as well. But I'm guessing they're not wings. I'm guessing it just like helps them swim, like like Michael Phelps's webbed toes or something like that. They just get like they got some like underarm kind of wingage going on, but not for flying purposes. They're ground creatures. The minch is all they've known. So.
Well, you ever seen them flying fish in Hawaii?
No, are they a thing? Are they a thing?
You don't know about
Really?
the flying fish?
Was it really flying or is it just jumping out of the fucking water?
They jump out of the water, but they got really big Really big flappers that look like wings, I think. I don't know.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's probably just doing a porpoise move, right?
Yeah, they're
like
small
a dolphin
fish,
jump.
but the whole lot of them jump.
Okay.
You
Well,
don't know
call
about
me
them
when
flying fish?
call me when they beat a chicken.
Okay.
Not like beat up a chicken,
That'd
but
be
like
cool.
beat its
what?
time. It's time.
Oh, it's time. Okay.
What do you think I'm going with this?
I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing.
God, I've been fucking ruminating in my room about a chicken and a fish fight for a long time.
Yeah.
I just like I'm why hasn't McDonald's like made this a promotional thing yet?
I honestly
Like, chicken
think a
versus
fish is gonna win every time.
Are you just pulling this from like, the other guys when he talks about the lion going and fighting the school of tuna?
You know,
You're losing that battle 9 times out of 10.
that's a movie I honestly don't remember besides the guys jumping off the roof.
Oh, that was a great scene. Oh, Dwayne?
Yeah. I didn't want to do spoilers.
How'd they kill off Dwayne? Okay, anyway, that movie's like 10 years old. But I said.
Spoiler time.
Yeah, save it for the end, David. So they're seen as the personification of the sea, churning waves, storm, and high winds as they emerge from the sea, wreaking havoc. But it is not just the weather they use to cause destruction. They also have another tactic for protecting their waters. So, many ships have been lost to the violent sea of the Minch, but the ones lucky enough to return told a story that would make you want to grab the newest Eminem album and an awfully hot coffee pot for a long night of studying. Why, you ask? Well, it is said that when the Blue Men approach a ship, the leader of the Blue Men, his name's Shoney, or I don't know if that's his name or if that's like a title, like that's like I'm the chieftain, he's the Shoney, you know what I mean?
Sounds like one.
Yeah, so when the Blue Men approach the ship, the Blue Men leader, Shoney, issues a challenge to the ship's captain. If the captain refuses the challenge or fails, the Blue Men will climb aboard the sides of the vessel, capsizing the ship in those treacherous waters. But don't worry, because the crew can save themselves by accepting the challenge of a poetry duel.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I got an awfully hot coffee pot for you fucking minchers. You little minch boys. I'm gonna get ya.
I love all this Eminem references. I was thinking,
Yeah.
it might have been yesterday. I was sitting there. I was like, do people still listen to Eminem? Has like that kind of just like gone away?
No, he's good.
Is
He's
he?
good, but just like you listen to him now because he rhymes crazy. He just like rhymes really fast, but like his songs back in the day were much more like cohesive, but now he's just kind of like rapping fast and he's like, I'm the best rapper, I'm the best rapper. I'm the best rapper, I'm the best rapper. I'm a very fast rapper. I'm a fast rapper, I'm a very fast rapper.
And the coffee pot.
In the coffee pot. So, like I said, Shoney, the leader, will shout a line or couplet of poetry, and the verse will be completed in perfect rhyme and meter by all on board, which is crazy. I don't know how they're all doing it, but they said all. I thought it would just have to be the captain, but they all have to do it.
Well, okay.
And-
I mean, if this is a thing that if you have a 10% chance of this happening, 5%, 2% chance of this happening, you still got to be prepared. And they're always singing them the sea shanties. She shanties. And I mean, why not? You know, to every top of the hour, you stop and you do your poetry.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing that you have to remember. Usually the Blue Man starts it, and I'll read you one of them. I'll read you a little.
Oh, so that you
couplet.
can't come prepared for the battle.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
Boy, that complicates things.
yeah. So like I said, if you fail, the Blue Men will drag all souls down to the bottom of the sea. And this is how it would sound on a successful poetry battle. Okay, so it goes, Blue Chief, he says, Man of the black cap, what do you say as your proud ship cleaves the brine? And the skipper goes, My speedy ship takes the shortest way, and I'll follow you line by line. And then the blue chief goes, my men are eager, my men are ready to drag you below the waves. And the skipper goes, my ship is speedy, my ship is steady. If it sank, it would wreck your caves.
That's cool. I like caves.
But like you have to like, I mean, this is a difficult task. This guy's like steering a ship. It's real stormy.
Oh, yeah.
Some guys in your ear talking about rhyming, and it's not like an easy rhyme. He's like, yeah, I'm waiting for you to like come back with the rhyme real quick, and everybody has to say it. Jeez.
You think?
I don't know.
What if it was like a thing where the captain says it and then the whole crew has to repeat it?
That might be a thing. But like, I'm also thinking that maybe back in like old Scotland, they're just like. I feel like everybody just talked in rhymes all the time.
It's true, yeah.
They're like, have you seen the doctor? I'm in a pinch. I have a rash right on me minch.
How long have you been cooking that one up?
Literally 2 seconds
dude,
in my
you're
head.
A poet.
I know.
You know that you're a poet. You
Sean Carr.
You deserve your own movie.
What's it called?
The minstrel cycle.
Don't go back in the waters. There's sharks now. Get it? Because the
bears.
Okay, yeah, and the bears. God, I have to describe to a couple hundred people what a minstrel cycle is. Okay, God, I'm not ready for this. So, like I said. If you complete the poem with no mistakes, the blue men will secede back to their caves, allowing you to pass this time. But, I mean, the blue men also have a life outside of murdering groups of sailors, you know.
They like woodwork.
Because, no, there would be no way they could woodwork because all the wood would just float to the surface and they're in caves down below.
That's half the fun.
Metalwork. Metal work.
Yeah.
Do they have metal in 17th century Scotland?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what happens past the 1940s. If somebody's like, what does Scotland look like in the 1940s? I'd be like, a couple bales of hay, a guy with a cow.
Potato.
One potato. It's really just a child in a trash compactor.
And it's mashed, baby.
It's mashed. Just can mash it. So, but like I said, so they do have hobbies. They have one hobby at least because on bright clear nights they play shinty, the Highland game played with stick and ball that is similar yet different to field hockey.
I was gonna say, is this the origin of golf? But that was Bilbo Baggins.
No, that was Bagger Vance. You mean?
Yeah, sure. The guy that sells refrigerators.
Wait, is the legend of Bagger Vance about him creating golf?
Hold on, who's Bagger Vance?
You said Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Did you mean Bagger Vance? That was Will Smith in a movie.
No. In The Hobbit, the book, there's a part, I don't think it's Bilbo, I forget who it is, but there's a part where it's talking about how some warrior hit an orc's head off with an axe or a sword and it went flying and landed in a hole, and they like joke that that's where golf came from.
Oh, no, that's Orkhead.
Orchid.
Orkhead. It's Olympic sport this year, but it got canceled because of the COVID.
Because of the dogs.
Because they get the orchid and they run off, but it just looks like floating orchid and scare everybody. No one want to watch them play the game. They call it floating orchid, and we call it orchid. It's not fair no more.
Mysterious dog prints in the grass. They appear out of nowhere.
The poop visible, but the dog did not.
The poop visible, boy, smell. The dog not.
So where was I? Like I said, they're playing field hockey. So I guess they do come off land sometimes, right? So they can show off their nice Hershey Kiss green hairstyle. So the Blue Men of the Minch were also linked to a pagan fertility ceremony that took place on Lewis on All Saints Day, whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
Families gathered to brew ale from the season's grain, and at night someone waded into the sea up to their waist and offered a cup full of ale to Shoni, the little chieftain guy.
Yeah.
Shoni. Shoni 2012. Asking the water spirit to deliver seaweed to the shore for fertilizer. So they go dump a half an ale or a full ale in the sea and be like, this is like worth at least a couple seaweed, and then he would just have to pay his tab later.
Yeah.
Because they needed that fertilizer.
They pour one out for the homie.
So exactly. So he poured the ale into the sea, and they retreated to the nearby church where there was a single candle burning on an altar. And when it was finally extinguished, everyone moved to a field to drink the rest of the ale and have a party. That sounds really fun to me, honestly. I see keeps going back to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Every time I see a Shire scene where they're just like partying, I'm like, God, that looks like so much fun.
Anything seems like fun now. A child's birthday party sounds like fun now.
God, I saw that kid stuck in the dumpster. I was like, that seems like fun. I want to be mashed potato.
Oh
Seems
God,
like
I'd
fun.
give anything to be mashed potato in public these days.
The Wiggles actually are doing a concert for him, but it's very traumatic when they're like, mashed potato, and the kid just starts screaming, and then Anthony falls into the fucking trash compactor, and the guy, he doesn't stop. He knows he wants Anthony to be mashed potato.
Where I'm confused is how do you have knowledge of the Wiggles?
I have knowledge of the Wiggles because Katie apparently used to watch the Wiggles when she was a child, and her mom was a fan of Anthony.
Whoa. Hachamawa.
Google's sex doll that looks like Anthony from the Wiggles. It's full of mashed potato, so I mean,
How old is
it's worth
Katie?
the
Is she
money.
like 13?
She's 12.
Oh.
But no, this is none of your business, you jerk.
I thought the Wiggles was like a big thing like not that long ago.
Just because you're 45 doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't know what the Wiggles
I
is.
am 22.
I think about that sometimes. I feel like I want to my birthday's coming up. I'm about to turn 29, and I'm just like, can I tell people I'm 24 or 25 and they'll believe me? And they're like, those bags under your eyes don't say 24, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, so I just walk into a conversation. I'm like, so you guys see the new Wiggles song? You see the new Wiggles song? Fuck, my cover's blown.
Fuck,
they know.
They know.
They know I don't listen to music. So, just to wrap this up, next time you find yourself on a ship traveling specifically through the Minch of northern Scotland, make sure to have your rap battle spiral notebook, a pint of ale, and some floaties ready, because who knows when the Blue Men will wake again. That's an awfully stormy fucking sea.
Alrighty, well, I guess I'll start mine now. And
You should.
Before I start, I don't want anybody to think today is going to be all monkeys and boners, because my
Why are you talking to me then?
because today my story is as interesting as it is sad. This is the story
cool.
of the disappearance of Dennis Martin. Do you know about
Dennis
this one?
Martin. No, Dennis Martin.
So this story took place in the United States on June 14th, 1969, when a 6-year-old boy suddenly vanished in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee.
No.
So as the story goes, on
They're going to find him, right? Alive? Well?
as the story goes, on June 14th, like I said, 1969, the Martin family visited the national park, and they ran into some other campers who actually happened to also be named the Martin family. What a quinkadink.
Man, they should make a comedy with Ed Helms. This is very
Martin
funny.
Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. I wish I chose some. Steve Martin and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That's good.
And that one kid with the eyebrows.
Yeah. Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah. Gilbert Godfrey plays a 6-year-old boy.
Dad, I getting a rash. That was a horrible Gilbert Gottfried, but that was a really good Minch rash impression.
I thought you were about to sneeze when you went into that impression.
I can't get close to the mic if I'm going to do Gilbert Gottfried.
It's true.
It
I
can't
met him
happen.
once. He's always loud. So
Speaking of hobbits,
the
what?
Martins, number 2, also had some kids with them for Dennis and his older brother to play with, which goes without saying. Both families were happy to have the kids go play and have fun while the adults could, talk about business and car dealerships.
And Anthony from the Wiggles. The men wanted to be him. The women wanted him.
So
The Wiggles envied him.
the kids decided to play a game of good old scare mom and pops, as the kids would hide in the bushes and jump out to frighten their parents. It was at this time Dennis was last seen, as his father...
You know what?
Huh?
I'm going to say I do that, but with other campers. Other families. I hide in the
other
bushes. Yeah, yeah. Other kids. Me and the kids are in the bushes.
With other-
Just me.
I like to
the
jump
kids,
out.
Dave.
I like to jump out and scare other people's pee-pees and papas.
Papa, where's Pee-Pee? Pee-Pee went to heaven. Okay, we can move on now. Sorry.
Oh, fuck. Not a good time. So like I was saying, Dennis was last seen as his father watched Dennis go behind some bushes at the tree line. Dennis's father approached the bush to get his son, and Dennis was gone.
And by the way, nothing good happens behind the tree line. We went over this.
Yeah. Stay
That's
away
where I
from the tree
kill.
line.
That's where I kill on those desolate roads. If I drag you behind the tree line, you're not coming back.
So Dennis's father ran 2 miles up and down the trail looking for his son, but stopped when he realized there was no way his 6-year-old son could have traveled this far on his own. This is when the family called the park rangers, and a visitor of the park named Harold Key reported hearing a loud scream on the afternoon Dennis Martin went missing. Shortly after, he claims to have seen what he called a disheveled man, which means an unkempt, messy person, who was covered in hair, and he was attempting to be he was trying to be unseen and fleeing through the woods. Like he was trying to be all sneaky and make sure people couldn't see him.
I'm guessing he might have been naked, right? If he's covered in hair, but
They
then
didn't.
again,
Yeah, they didn't
hard to
specify
tell
what
with
he
all
was
that
wearing.
hair.
They just said that he was all crazy looking, covered in hair. So Harold.
Excuse me. Can I have a moment? Can we pause?
Yeah, we can pause.
Okay, I'm good.
So Harold Key and his family also noted that the figure had a red object slung over his shoulder, which would match the clothing Dennis Martin was last seen wearing.
Oh no,
Yeah.
David, you weren't kidding.
What?
They better find Martin. What's his name? What's his first name?
Dennis.
Dennis. The Menace Martin.
So
Playing a prank.
it's like a basketball player.
Mr. Wilson got him.
Dennis the Menace Martin. Now, this seems like a simple kidnapping of some sort, but the FBI ruled it out, given that the sighting had taken place more than 5 miles away from where Dennis was last seen, and the Key family was unable to provide an exact time of their sighting. Key also noted later that the man may have been a moonshiner, explaining his reluctance of being seen and given his unkempt appearance.
Oh shit, that kind of scares me because I have seen the movie Wrong Turn.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen numerous videos on YouTube of people from backwoods West Virginia who clearly have only seen the inside of a bedroom with their cousin and the inside of a Walmart, and that scares me to think of what them grabbing somebody and taking them back to their shanty shack.
Not that
I don't
hills have eyes, maybe.
Exactly, and I'm not even talking bad about West Virginia. This is a very small population of people that scare me in West Virginia.
So, one retired park ranger was disappointed in their failure to properly follow up either footprints of the sighting of the man or just, trying to figure out who he was. The retired ranger argued his case by saying that the man's location was downhill from where Dennis disappeared, and it was more than reasonable for a relatively fit individual to cover that distance in the time frame, even carrying a 6-year-old.
So he was pro that Dennis got kidnapped, and then the FBI was like, he didn't get kidnapped, he's missing?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So around 1,500 people searched high and low for Dennis, even leading the Martin family to contact psychics for help. And that's when you get desperate, I feel like.
Yeah. And that's like not that cool either from the psychics part, because I'm hoping that there's some kind of connection going on, but if there's not, that's like super fucked, right?
Yeah.
Not cool.
So on June 23rd, police dogs were brought in to help sniff out Dennis. But strangely enough, when the dogs arrived to the area, they refused to work and track the area, only to sit and whimper, looking terrified for their lives.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
What's nearby? I think I know.
What?
They smelled them, but they couldn't see them. They can never see them. We had a good old-fashioned dog civil war. The normal dogs was the invisible bunch. And guess what? The invisible bunch had the numbers, but you couldn't see it. You never see it. Anyway,
You could only smell it.
There's a bunch of poop on the ground, and they couldn't tell what the dog was, but the poop on the ground was evident that the dog was there. The dog was always there. Okay, I'm done.
So on the 26th, a man called into Carson Brewer of the Knoxville News Sentinel. This phone call was very bizarre, and the man told Brewer to tell the searchers to look in the trees and treetops for Dennis, not the ground.
That's a good, I never really thought about that.
But it was kind
Little
of
kids.
like, it was almost like a threatening way. Like it made everybody very uneasy.
Oh, shit, this is like a random caller?
Yeah.
We got a random caller?
Yeah, I guess it was like super creepy.
Oh, wow.
So the official search would end on June 29th. Unofficial efforts would continue to sweep the national park into September. The Martin family refused to believe that their son was dead, being that no body, blood, or any evidence would be found. So one very interesting detail about this story, aside from this mysterious hairy man, is that the government and military were heavily involved in this search, which is not the usual case on a missing person.
Is it because it was a national park for some reason?
Well, they used, which is what reported, which was a fixed wing plane, multiple helicopters, a dozen jeeps, multiple National Guard units, and special forces, and even several military command posts were built in the area. And official reports said that there was a note from President Richard Nixon demanding to be kept up to speed and that he was personally monitoring the situation.
Whoa.
So like
that's kind of wild.
Yeah, the government and the military are acting like this is like a huge level threat.
Because their guy got out, whatever that hairy thing is.
Yeah.
You think that's broke out of some secret bunker or something?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Is that the conspiracy theory behind that?
Oh, we're still going.
Okay.
We're not done yet. Towards the end, the Green Berets showed up heavily armed and told park rangers and independent searchers to hit the road and not get involved with what they were going there to do.
What?
Yeah. The Green Berets are like...
Make more hats?
What?
Is that what they do?
Green Berets are like insane, like one of the most brutal task forces of the military.
But why are they wearing them hats?
Because they can. Because you have to be one mean son of a bitch to pull off a beret.
Do they carry a baguette around with them? No, they'd kill me in 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, not even. Like you would. It would be one of those things in a movie where your head would be cut off and you'd be blinking and like looking around, not knowing you're dead.
Oh, that's cool. Like the guy in 13 Ghosts when he gets sliced in hot dog ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
that's
that.
cool. They're gonna slice me hot dog ways.
Oh, Toby hot dog. Somehow a Tobin hot dog would be less nutritional than an actual hot dog.
It's colder on the inside.
The shit
How did it
inside of
get
you is
colder?
worse. The shit inside of you is worse than what they put in actual hot dogs.
Yeah, put me in the microwave. Disrespect me.
Let
Don't
me
even put me on
spin.
don't even put me on the fucking grill.
Let me spin in that hot room.
Poke me with a fork and stick me in a microwave. I don't deserve the grill.
So locals reported that the Green Berets stayed in the woods for at least a week. And one of the men told a park ranger in passing, "We took care of what snatched Dennis."
What?
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
They said that?
Yeah, we took care of what snatched Dennis.
Mr. Wilson. They pop Mr. Wilson real fast like.
Now,
Oh my god, that's crazy.
yeah, so I had to do a deep dive into this one where I found a personal posting about it because, well, like they said, the stories reported in papers are different from what I have heard from locals. And so they're kind of saying that, you know, national
The government
news,
could change it.
yeah, like no legitimate news source can be trusted on this. Like it's all based on what locals have been saying.
And it was like the late 60s, early 70s, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like now where information could just leak out because somebody has a phone or like, you know, it's probably just like there was one guy who was like, "Hey, I got a story," and they're like, "No, you don't."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
They
So
neuralized him.
yeah, so the information this guy gathered from locals is pretty wild. So insights from locals include that the military had knowledge of feral wild men in the Great Smoky Mountains, and this is why they got involved with the Martin case.
Wildman.
Yep.
Okay.
So while the Green Berets were in those woods, they supposedly killed over 30 feral wild men, including the one that snatched Dennis Martin.
Holy shit.
The military did find the bones and clothes that belonged to Dennis, but it was decided not to inform the family as they could not handle it. Yeah.
Oh my god! If this is like, I know like this kind of falls into like conspiracy or like whatever you want to say,
100%.
but like if any of that's true, even in the slightest, that's like insanity.
Yeah.
Because like I played Red Dead Redemption 2, and there's like this.
We
this
know.
There's this group called the Murphy Broods, and they're like wild men in the woods and stuff like that. And I was like, they existed. Those people did exist.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's like a national forest where you have thousands and thousands of acres of like dense forest and probably places that people don't go, like they could exist,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about. And then also crazy to think about that like there's 30 of them. And that is like the movie Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
Like oh my God, that is terrifying. Absolutely crazy.
So the wild man had eaten Dennis, and this was kept from the family and media for years. Although I can't find too many stories of people who had gone missing, many believe this has to do with the whole group being picked off or it being silenced. So, but these are a few I found. Trenny Lynn Gibson reported missing October 8th, 1976. So, you know, 7 years after Dennis, while on a field trip with Barredon High School. The 16-year-old and her classmates were hiking near Andrews Bald and Klingman's Dome. No one on the trip.
Wait. Andrew's Bald and Klingman's Dome?
Yeah, I said it.
Andrew and Klingman have
Some explaining.
they got some Jeff Bezos head going on.
So no one on the trip remembered seeing her after 3 p.m. that day.
Oh my God.
Thelma Pauline Melton reported missing September 25th, 1981. Meldon, 58, of Jacksonville, Florida, was hiking near Deep Creek campground with 2 friends when she went out ahead of them and disappeared. Meldon was familiar with the trail, having hiked it many times before.
Mm.
And
What's
crazy though is like these people I'm talking about, like they were never seen and nothing was ever found about them.
I've been playing with this idea that like you said that there aren't that many cases of people disappearing in those woods, or and like you said, it could have been covered up, it could have been not reported on, they could have just, you know, people have not found them. Lone hiker out there gets snatched up or something like that, and they disappeared. We don't know where they went. Maybe in the woods, but you know. But my other thing is, you know, there's like 30 guys and stuff like that. I don't know what the hunting situation is, but do you think that they mainly, you know, lived off of animals and then they snatched a person when the opportunity came because they didn't see humans as very different than, like, you know, the animals, the game that they hunted. So they're just like, they weren't like cannibals by choice, but they were like,
I think every cannibal
meat.
is a cannibal by choice.
Well, yeah, but like they could have been like so warped in the mind that they were like, we don't even think that we're them. You know what I mean? I mean, they probably knew that they were men or children or women or something like that. But there's like meat's meat and survival's survival. So like grab them if you see them, but we'll just go at like what's around us. And maybe they became wary of people because people fought back, or you know what I mean? So I don't know.
And you also brought up a good point. That's like, how many people have gone in there and never came out that were solo hikers that, you know, people didn't know that they were there in the first place.
We talk about the 60s as being like, the 60s and 70s as being like a breeding ground for serial killers. Like there's probably so many serial killers that got away with murdering people. There's still like so many missing people from that era, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's chances are that people just were killed in there and never found or never reported or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So the next one is Christopher Lee Cessna. Family members reported Cessna 45 of Cary, North Carolina, missing April 27th, 2011. Park officials later discovered his 2009 Audi at the Newfound Gap parking area. Relatives reported Cessna had been depressed and he might have been suicidal, and that a gun he owned could not be found. So that one's maybe iffy, but you never know.
Very similar to like what goes down in that suicide forest in Japan sometimes, you know, but doesn't mean there wasn't foul play. We don't know, but I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful either,
of course, yeah.
But
you know, we like to have our fun and games here, but you know, we don't ever really mean to be disrespectful. So
sometimes.
Yeah. The next one,
the
Queen.
Creatures.
The Queen.
We're disrespectful to people who deserve disrespect. God damn it.
So the last one I have here is Derek Luking, reported missing after he didn't show up for work March 15th, 2012.
Dude, that's the day the pandemic started.
What?
Not 2012. March 15th.
So Luking, 24 of Louisville, Tennessee. He was known to be a fan of survivalist star Bear Grylls. Rangers found his vehicle in Newfound Gap parking lot with a handwritten note on the dash asking no one to come looking for him.
Oh my God.
Which is interesting because that could be so many different things, where it's like maybe he was planning on an extended like outdoor adventure kind of thing and then got snatched up, or maybe he just died from exposure, or maybe these wild men learned how to write and left the note.
I was going to say, David, I'm about to crack open this whole case. We know that the wild men need a leader, correct?
Yeah.
Whose handwriting was in that note? Because if there's one thing I know, that no man is more insatiable for man flesh than a man named Bear. And I think the leader of the wild men is someone who would be willing to drink their own pee-pee on camera.
Drink their own mother?
What?
Drink their own mother?
No, not that. That pee-pee's in heaven. But I mean the yellow gold that comes from the Minch vessel. And I don't know. I just think
minerals.
I think Bear Grylls, he is a survivalist. He is a wild man.
Yep.
He is a friend of this man who went missing, and his name is Bear.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
you guys put the pieces together. I'm just laying it all out for you.
So, although taken with a grain of salt, if all this did happen and the Green Berets wiped out 30 or so of these feral wild men, reports are still being made about them today, but sometimes quickly silenced. So take this as a warning. Do not take your family into the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee.
Oh, great. Now tourism's down. You just put 20
20 hungry
roadside
feral men.
roadside
jobs.
jam sales stands out of business. Is that where they make all the jam in the Smoky Mountains? That's where they probably make beef jerk.
That's human jam.
Don't eat the beef jerky on the side of the road. Don't do it. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
it.
But whoa, I mean,
My jerky's
that's
got a nipple.
Oh my god!
But
That's
it
the
is
best part.
habanero.
But yeah, that is crazy to think about, that there could be people living in the woods like that. I don't know why the government would feel responsible for this or even try to cover it up. There's some like guys who never were like on the grid in the first place, so like they're living in the woods. It's not like the government's responsible for them unless like they did some like fucked up experiments on people, like some MK Ultra, and then they're like, what do we do with all these guys? I mean, most likely you're just gonna kill them, but maybe they're just like, throw them in the woods, see what happens.
Put them in that national park people love.
You know that park where all the children play? Go put them.
You know that park where the kids hide in bushes all the time? Yeah, put them there.
Oh, boss, I think I fucked up. I've been feeding them human meat for about 2 weeks now. Are you sure we should release them? Yeah. Go put them in, what's that park that people are... Grand Central Park. Put them in that park.
And add some more coverage, more bushes.
Lots more bushes. But, oh my God. Yeah, that's terrifying. Just be wary in any woods you go to, whether it be a man or a creature or a man creature like Bear Grylls. And just, you don't mess with nature, and you don't mess... Well, I guess the sea is nature, right?
Yeah.
Just be wary of your surroundings, because we are still animals. And although we think we're top of the food chain, sometimes we're not.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we are if we're wild men, I guess.
No, I think a lion would still fuck up a few of these feral dudes.
You're right. Fair. But if they get that lion...
I mean, if whoever wins 1v1 on Rust, like, that's just the...
Send them to the gulag.
That's the apex right there, baby.
Oh, yay. Well, I think that's all the stories we have for you guys today. We hope you enjoyed them, because we really enjoyed telling you them.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we really did. And if you guys want any more information, you go to Camp Strange Podcast at Instagram. Click the link in bio. We got all the stuff there. If you want some merch, you can buy some merch there. If you guys want to rate, review, subscribe, do it on Apple Podcasts. Or if you can on any other platforms, do it there too. We just like to be appreciated. I just want to be appreciated. You ever seen that lady? Anyway, so... anything, if you guys want to send us anything via email, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com, and we will respond. I'm kind of backed up on some of those, so I gotta respond to some.
I don't even know how to check the email, so that's all on you, buddy.
What's email? Yeet mail. You just throw your letters as far as you can into the ocean. Yeet mail.
You come back
Anyway.
from whence you came.
So he thinks paper comes from the water. That paper water. He writes all of his script on seaweed, pours ale into the water. So
And then I eat it and I flush it.
So I think that's it for us this week. David, do you have anything else to say before we head out?
The Rock and Samuel Jackson jump off the roof.
Oh no, you ruined the
I
first
ruined
15
it.
minutes of the movie.
The
Is that even a
best minute.
spoiler?
The best part of the
know.
movie.
It is the best. but also when he screams Christina. That's great. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and don't forget to stay strange.